Follow me. You'll bathe in my private quarters. The American major says it without looking back. His boots echo on concrete, keys jingle against his hip, and Kazumi's legs stop working. She's 26. Former Imperial Navy signals operator, captured on Saipan 11 months ago. And now an American officer, Major Harold Bennett, according to his name tag, is leading her toward a building marked Officers Only. His private quarters, his bathroom. Shikan no heya ni tsurete ikareru, sore wa shinu koto wo imi suru. Being taken to an officer's room. That means death. That's what Lieutenant Yamamoto told them during training. Officers take what they want, especially from women, especially from enemy women. Every army, every war, no exceptions. Only 847 Japanese women exist in American custody. Total, across all camps. Kazumi is one of 23 at Camp Stoneman, California, and right now, she's the only one walking behind this officer, alone. The aftershave hits her first. Something floral, American. It wafts from the door he's unlocking. Her stomach drops through the concrete floor. Setsuko is back in the barracks. 21 years old, shrapnel still embedded in her arm. When Kazumi left, Setsuko grabbed her sleeve. Don't go. I don't have a choice. Then don't come back broken. The door opens. Bennett steps aside, gestures inward. Hot water takes 30 seconds to warm up. Clean towels on the rack. Soap's American. Might smell different than what you're used to. He says it like he's describing a hotel amenity, not like he's delivering a sentence. Kazumi can't move. The room beyond is small, white tiles, a sink, porcelain, gleaming, cleaner than anything she's seen in 11 months. A bathtub with chrome fixtures, steam already rising from the faucet he left running. No guards inside, no chains on the walls, no stains on the floor. What is this? Bennett checks his watch. I'll be in the mess hall for the next hour. Door locks from the inside. He pulls it nearly closed, then pauses. The latch sticks sometimes. Jiggle it twice. Then he's gone. Footsteps fading. Silence flooding back. Kazumi stands in the doorway, heart hammering, throat sealed shut. The propaganda films never showed this. The training officers never mentioned hot water and clean towels. Nays? Why? She touches the doorframe. Solid. Real. Her fingers leave a smudge on the white paint. The bathtub fills. Steam curls toward the ceiling. The soap on the sink is still wrapped. And Kazumi cannot make herself step inside. Tiles. White tiles. Clean towels folded on a chrome rack. A bathtub filled with steaming water. And nothing else. Kazumi counts the tiles. 17 rows. 8 columns. She counts them because counting means her brain is still working, and right now she's not sure it is. The officer left. He unlocked his private bathroom, showed her hot water and soap, and walked away. Naza dete itano, naza watashi tachi, dake ni shita no. Why did he leave? Why did he leave us alone? There has to be a camera. She checks the corners, nothing. Checks behind the mirror, solid wall. Checks the ceiling vent, too small for an eye, covered in dust. She's been standing here for 4 minutes. The water is still running. The steam is fogging the mirror. Emiko would know what to do. Emiko is 29, former military nurse. She served at a field hospital in Manchuria before reassignment to Saipan. She saw things there, things she won't talk about, things involving Chinese prisoners and Japanese officers, and rooms with drains in the floor. Kazumi heard her crying once, midnight, through the thin barracks walls. What happened to them, Emiko whispered, started with a bath. That's why Kazumi's hands won't stop shaking now. The soap is Ivory brand, white wrapper, still sealed. The same brand American officers' families use. She's seen it in the commissary through the fence. 3 towels per person, cotton, fluffy, clean. Water temperature, exactly warm, not scalding, not cold. Medically recommended. She knows because she can read the thermometer mounted on the wall. Who puts a thermometer in a bathroom? Someone who cares about the temperature. Someone who's planned this. Her throat tightens. The door is behind her. She tested it already, unlocked. She can leave any time. She can walk out, find Bennett, demand an explanation. But explanations won't come. Officers don't explain. They take. Except this one left. Kazumi touches the soap. The wrapper crinkles. It's the first time she's touched something new and clean in 11 months. Everything in the POW barracks is used, stained, worn. This is pristine. She should use it. She should bathe. Her skin itches with 11 months of accumulated grime. Her hair is matted. Her clothes smell like sweat and fear. But if she undresses, she's vulnerable. And vulnerable means dead. The water cools. 1 degree, 2. The steam thins. Kazumi sits on the edge of the bathtub, fully clothed. Soap wrapper still sealed in her palm. She'll wait. She'll see what happens next. 23 minutes. No one has come. The water is lukewarm now. The steam has vanished. Kazumi is still sitting on the bathtub edge, wrapped soap clutched like a weapon, waiting for the door to burst open. It doesn't. Back in the barracks, Emiko told them what she saw in Manchuria. The comfort women brought to the field hospital, the ones who survived long enough to need medical attention. They were given baths first, Emiko said, clean clothes, sometimes makeup, made to look presentable. Yanfu tachi wa saisho, ofuro wo atairare sorakara. The comfort women were given baths first, and then. Kazumi doesn't finish the thought. She doesn't have to. But Setsuko does. Setsuko is in the women's barracks right now, arms swelling with infection. Shrapnel from an American bomb, the irony isn't lost on anyone, embedded since Saipan. The camp doctor said she needs to clean it daily. Hot water, soap, antiseptic. She hasn't had hot water in 11 months. The shrapnel wound is turning red. Yesterday it was pink. Today it's red with yellow edges. Tomorrow. Kazumi stands, paces. The tiles are cold through her thin shoes. The faucet drips, a metronome counting down to something. 7 of the 23 women have skin infections, lice, rashes, open sores that won't heal because nothing is clean and nothing ever dries properly in the crowded barracks. Setsuko's arm is the worst. If it goes septic, she loses the arm. If she loses the arm, she probably dies. Not enough antibiotics for POWs, not enough priority. Kazumi looks at the cooling bathwater, looks at the wrapped soap, looks at the unlocked door. Major Bennett said he'd be in the mess hall for an hour. 37 minutes left. If she bathes now, if she tests this strange trap, she might survive. She might confirm it's safe. She might be able to bring Setsuko here tomorrow. Or she might confirm what Emiko saw in Manchuria. The faucet drips. Her hands shake. Kore wa wanada. Kanarazu wanada. This is a trap. It has to be a trap. But Setsuko's arm is red, and the soap smells like flowers, and the door is unlocked. Kazumi walks to the door, opens it a crack. The corridor is empty, no guards, no shadows, no one waiting. She closes it again, locks it from inside, hears the mechanism click. Then she turns back to the bathtub. The water is cold now. She drains it, refills it, hot, and begins to undress. The water burns, in a good way. Kazumi hasn't felt hot water on her skin in 11 months. She forgot what it does, how it opens pores, loosens muscles, dissolves the grime that's become a second skin. She's submerged to her shoulders, knees bent to fit in the American-sized tub, eyes fixed on the locked door, waiting. The soap lathers white. Ivory brand, floral scent. She scrubs her arms first, the safest parts. If the door bursts open, she can cover herself faster with clean arms. Nothing happens. She scrubs her shoulders, her neck. The water turns gray around her. 11 months of Pacific Island mud and transport ship filth and California dust floating away like ghosts. Still nothing. Watashi wa mada ikiteru, naze mada ikiteru no? I'm still alive. Why am I still alive? The question loops in her skull like a broken radio. Every second she's in this water, she expects boots on tile, hands on flesh. the propaganda made real, but the tiles reflect only steam. The door stays closed. The lock holds. She washes her hair. The water runs brown. She washes it again. Less brown. Third time. Almost clear. How long has it been? She checks the clock on the wall. 14 minutes since she undressed. 46 minutes since Bennett left. 14 minutes left. Her heart rate spikes. She stands. Water cascades off. She grabs a towel, cotton, white, softer than anything she's touched in a year, and dries herself in 8 seconds flat. Dressed in 12. Shoes on in 4. She's standing by the door, fully clothed, hair dripping, when she realizes nothing happened. No one came. She bathed in an American officer's private bathroom, and nothing happened. The soap wrapper lies torn on the floor. First act of trust, first proof that the trap didn't spring, or first step into a longer game. She doesn't know which. But she knows this. Setsuko's arm is infected. Emiko has lice so bad she scratches in her sleep. Hiroko's rash has spread to her legs. If this bathroom is real, if the hot water and soap and privacy are actually available, then everything they were told is wrong. Or this is the most elaborate softening technique in military history. Kazumi unlocks the door, opens it. The corridor is still empty. She walks back to the barracks. Wet footprints on concrete. 22 women look up when she enters. "What happened?" Setsuko asks. Kazumi holds up the half-used soap. "I bathed." Silence. Then, and nothing. Nothing happened at all. A knock, not a burst. A knock. Major Bennett's voice through the barracks door. "Is there a translator available? I need to explain something." 23 women freeze. Corporal Tanaka steps in behind Bennett, 25 years old, Nisei, second-generation Japanese-American. He's been assigned to the women's compound as translator, and right now, he looks almost as nervous as they do. "The major wants to explain about the bathroom," Tanaka says in Japanese. "The situation. Kare wa setsume shiteru. Mondai wo setsume shiteru." He's explaining. He's explaining the problem. The irony isn't lost on Kazumi. Japanese officers don't explain. They order. They take. They never justify. Bennett stands in the doorway, hands visible, not entering. "Your barracks plumbing is broken," Tanaka translates. "The main pipe froze 2 nights ago. Repair crews are working on it, but it'll take 6 more days, maybe longer." He pauses, looks at Bennett, continues. "The communal showers in Block C are still working, but they're outdoor, no privacy, and the temperature's been below 40 degrees. The major didn't think that was acceptable for—" Tanaka stops, clears his throat. "For women," he finishes. Bennett speaks again. Tanaka translates, "My bathroom has hot water. It's private. It locks from inside. Until your plumbing is fixed, you can use it in rotations, 5 at a time. I'll stay out of my quarters during scheduled hours." Kazumi stares. Setsuko stares. 23 women stare. "Kare wa jibun no heya wo akiramete iru. Teki no tame ni." He's giving up his own room. For the enemy. "Why?" Kazumi asks in English. Her accent is thick, but the word is clear. Bennett looks at her. His face doesn't change. "Because frozen pipes don't suspend the Geneva Convention," he says, "and because I have a sister, she wouldn't want me to be the kind of man who makes women bathe in 40-degree weather." He turns, starts to leave, then stops. "Rotations start tomorrow, 6 a.m. Corporal Tanaka will manage the schedule. The door locks from inside. No male personnel will enter the building during rotation hours." He's gone before anyone can respond. The barracks is silent. Emiko is the first to speak. "He has a sister," she says slowly. "He thinks of us as women, not prisoners." Setsuko looks at her infected arm. The red is darker today. The yellow edges are spreading. "Can I go first tomorrow?" she whispers. Kazumi nods. The soap wrapper in her pocket crinkles. First proof the propaganda was wrong. 23 women, 1 bathroom, 3 days. Not a single incident. The rotation works like clockwork. 6 a.m., first group of 5. 8 a.m., second group. 10 a.m., third. Then afternoon sessions, 2, p.m., 4 p.m. Corporal Tanaka manages the schedule. He never enters the building during rotation hours. He waits outside with a clipboard, checking names, monitoring time. No male personnel breach the perimeter. Not once. Setsuko goes first that first morning. Her arm is red going in, pink coming out. The hot water and soap work faster than anyone expected. 3 days later, the infection is retreating. Kare wa mizukara no okane wo tsukateru. Teiki no tamni. He's using his own budget for the enemy. That's what Tanaka tells them on day 2. The hot water usage, 340 gallons per day, is being charged to officer housing. Bennett's personal allocation. If it goes over, the difference comes from his salary. Yoshiko can't process this. She's 27, former telegraph operator, and she had lice so severe she stopped sleeping. The communal delousing powder didn't work. The American soap does. 3 days of hot water and ivory soap. And she sleeps through the night for the first time in 8 months. Lieutenant Sarah Mitchell inspects them after each rotation, 30 years old, Army nurse. She checks for infections, rashes, wounds that need attention. 7 of you had treatable conditions, she reports on day 3, all improving. The numbers don't lie. Infections treated, 7. Lice cases eliminated, 4. Skin conditions improving, 11. And 0 incidents of any kind. The bathroom door locks from inside. The women lock it. They bathe. They dry. They dress. They leave. Nobody comes. Nobody watches. Nobody takes. Emiko sits on her bunk that third evening, touching her clean hair. I don't understand, she says. What's to understand? Kazumi asks. Why it's different. Naza Jigao, no? Why is it different here? Emiko saw Manchuria. She knows what Japanese officers did to Chinese prisoners. She knows what the comfort stations looked like. She knows what happens when armies win and women lose. She also knows what isn't happening here. No men entering during rotations. No cameras in the bathroom. No explanations demanded for time spent. No bodies checked afterward. Nothing. Day 4. The plumbing crew reports progress. 1 more day, maybe 2. But that evening, Major Bennett sends word through Tanaka. The plumbing's fixed, but if you want, you can keep using my bathroom. 23 women look at each other. Nobody speaks. Nobody understands. The plumbing's working now, but if you want, you can keep using my bathroom. The words hang in the air like something fragile. Major Bennett isn't in the barracks. He said it through Tanaka again, refusing to enter the women's space. But the offer is real, confirmed, written on official paper, indefinite access to his private bathroom during duty hours. Kare wa nani wo nozonde iru no? Nani mo nozomanai ningen wa inai? What does he want? No one wants nothing. Kazumi reads the paper 3 times. Then she walks to the women's barracks shower block to see what they're being offered an alternative to. It's worse than she imagined. 8 shower heads, no curtains, no dividers. The walls are thin wood with gaps wide enough to see through. The maintenance corridor runs directly behind it. She can see tool marks on the wall where repairs were made. Male personnel with access to this building, 12. She counts the sight lines, counts the gaps, counts the ways a woman could be watched without knowing. Then she walks back to the barracks. We keep using his bathroom, she tells the others. Nobody argues. But Reiko does something else. Reiko is 23, former comfort station survivor. She was taken at 16, held for 3 years, freed only when American forces overran her camp. She hasn't spoken since capture, not 1 word in 11 months. The others thought she was mute, brain damaged, broken beyond repair. Now Reiko walks to Kazumi, stops, opens her mouth. I'll take the first bath tomorrow. Every woman in the barracks turns. Reiko's voice is hoarse, unused, but clear. I haven't bathed in private since I was 16, she says. I forgot what it felt like, to lock a door, to be alone with water. Her eyes are wet, but she's not crying. Something else, something older. The major gave us a locked door, Reiko whispers. Do you understand what that means? Kazumi doesn't. Not fully. She wasn't in the comfort stations. She doesn't know what Reiko knows, but she understands enough. She hands Reiko the bathroom key. Bennett sent it with the written offer, trusting them to manage access themselves. Metal cold in Reiko's palm. Tomorrow, Kazumi says. First rotation, 6 a.m. Reiko nods, clutches the key. That night she sleeps without screaming for the first time since capture, and the next morning she locks the door behind her, alone, with hot water, and nothing else. Major Bennett had a sister, Corporal Tanaka says it quietly, almost apologetic, like the truth might break something. It's week 2 of the bathroom rotations. The women have stopped expecting the trap to spring, but they haven't stopped wondering why it was offered in the first place, Tanaka tells them. Margaret Bennett, 31 years old, missionary in Manila, captured by Japanese forces on December 15, 1941, 8 days after Pearl Harbor, found dead February. 1940, Watashitachi ga kare no shimai ni shita koto wo shiteiru. Soredemo, kare wa... He knows what we did to his sister, and still, he... Tanaka's voice cracks. The military investigators documented what happened to her before she died. The report was sent to her next of kin. He pauses, takes a breath. Major Bennett received it on his 26th birthday. Kazumi's throat seals shut. The barracks is silent except for breathing. Emiko, the nurse who served in Manchuria, knows exactly what the report contained. She's seen the aftermath. She knows what Japanese forces did to captured women. Margaret Bennett experienced it. Her brother read about it. And then Harold Bennett requested a transfer. Not to combat, not to revenge, to POW administration. He told his commanding officer, Tanaka continues, that he wanted to do it differently. He said, "Someone has to prove we're not the same." The weight of it settles over the barracks like a physical thing. This man, this American major with every reason to hate them, every justification for cruelty, every memory of his dead sister screaming through official documentation, gave them hot water and a locked door. He never entered the bathroom. He never watched. He never took. Nays? Why? Because someone he loved was destroyed by what men do when no one's watching. And he decided to be the kind of man who acts the same way whether anyone's watching or not. Kazumi sits on her bunk. Her hands won't stop shaking. The bathroom key is in her pocket. It feels heavier now, weighted with meaning she didn't understand before. "We have to write him a letter," she says. The others look at her. "We can't undo what happened to his sister, but we can tell him what he gave us, what the bathroom means, what the locked door means." She pulls out paper, pen. We tell him everything, all of us, every signature. That night, Kazumi writes the first draft. By morning, 23 women have signed it, 847 words, one for each Japanese woman POW in American custody. "We cannot undo what was done to your sister, but we can tell you what you gave us." Kazumi reads the letter aloud before they deliver it. 23 women listen. Some cry, some nod, some sit in silence. "You gave us hot water when our pipes were frozen. You gave us privacy when our barracks had none. You gave us a locked door when we had forgotten what safety felt like." The words took 3 drafts. Kazumi wrote in English. Tanaka corrected the grammar, and every woman added something. Setsuko, "Your soap saved my arm. The doctor said 1 more week without cleaning, and I would have lost it." Emiko, "I was a nurse in Manchuria. I saw what our officers did to women. I expected the same. You gave me proof that not all armies are alike." Reiko, "I was taken at 16. For 3 years, I never locked a door. Your bathroom was the first private space I controlled since I was a child." The letter fills 1 page, then 2, then 3. 847 words. Exactly, one for each Japanese woman in American custody. Every signature at the bottom. Corporal Tanaka delivers it. Major Bennett's response comes 3 days later. Not a letter, not words. Action. New orders posted on the camp bulletin board. Women's barracks, shower block to be converted to private stalls. Construction begins immediately. Completion, 30 days maximum. Kare wa kotoba de kotainakata. Kodo de kotaita. He didn't answer with words, he answered with action. The construction crews arrive that afternoon. Hammers echo across the compound. Wood planks stack outside the shower block. Curtain rods lean against the walls. Kazumi watches through the barracks window. "He's building us what we wrote about," she says. Nobody responds. The magnitude of it silences everyone. An American major, whose sister was raped and murdered by Japanese soldiers, read a letter from Japanese prisoners asking for privacy. And built them privacy, not because of regulations, not because of orders, because they asked. The bathroom key still hangs on a hook by Kazumi's bunk. They don't need it as desperately now. Soon, they'll have their own private stalls. But she doesn't throw it away. None of them suggest it. August 1945 approaches. The war grinds toward its end, and somewhere in the camp administration building, Major Harold Bennett files the women's letter in his personal records. He keeps it until he dies, 42 years later. But that comes next. "Follow me. You'll bathe in my private quarters." 5 words that should have meant destruction. They meant this instead. Kazumi lives. She returns to Japan in 1946, works as a translator for the occupation government, and spends 30 years advocating for POW rights. In 1978, her testimony is quoted in an international update to the Geneva Convention. Emiko lives. She joins American medical missions across Asia, treats cholera outbreaks in Korea, opens a clinic in Manila, the same city where Margaret Bennett died. She operates there until 1989. Reiko lives. She testifies at war crimes tribunals, tells the world what happened in the comfort stations. Then she does something else. She testifies about Camp Stoneman, about an American major who gave prisoners a locked door. "Not all men are the same," she says at Nuremberg. "Some remember that women are people, even when no one's watching." Major Harold Bennett dies in 1987. Heart attack. Age 62. His obituary lists medals, commendations, and one sentence that puzzles the obituary writer. Known for humane treatment protocols that exceeded standard requirements. What it doesn't list, the letter from 23 Japanese women that he kept in his desk for 42 years. His daughter finds it when she clears his belongings. "We cannot undo what was done to your sister," it begins. She donates it to a museum in Tokyo. It sits there now, behind glass, next to a photograph of a white porcelain sink. The label reads, "Where the enemy became human. Kare wa watashi tachi ni furo wo ataita, sore dake datta, sore dake de jubun datta." He gave us a bath. That was all. That was enough. Kazumi visits the museum in 1995. She's 71 years old, walking with a cane, and she stands in front of the sink photograph for 11 minutes, 1 minute for each month she spent as a POW. "They told us Americans were monsters," she says to the docent. "They showed us propaganda films, training videos, warnings." She touches the glass. "He showed us a bathroom, hot water, a locked door. That was his propaganda." Quick question for everyone watching right now. Comment below. What city are you in, and what time is it? I want to see how far this story travels. "Follow me. You'll bathe in my private quarters." The major said it without looking back. Kazumi heard a death sentence. She was wrong. The smallest gesture, a bathroom, proved that propaganda dies when faced with proof, and Major Bennett became the proof.